Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review and installation of the MBRP Axle-Back dual rear exit exhaust fitting all 2007 and up JKs. Today we're going to talk through the installation of this exhaust as well as how it sounds and some of the features of the construction. A lot of you will look to swap out the factory exhaust on your Jeep for an aftermarket Axle-Back because you're looking for more volume and a lower exhaust note. And this system will definitely give you that, but because this is a dual exit, you'll also get more of a unique look on the back of your Jeep. Now, nothing is going to make your V6 sound like a V8, but if a little bit more volume and a lower tone are what you're after, an Axle-Back like this one will definitely do the trick. Now, this Axle-Back from MBRP is a little bit more expensive than a lot of the other ones on the market, and part of the reason for that is this is a stainless steel system. This system is going to hold up a lot better than an aluminized system or a mild steel system would, so you are going to have to pay a little bit more for it. As I mentioned, this is a stainless steel system. Everything you see here is mandrel bent 409 stainless tubing with, of course, an MBRP muffler right in the center. The tips, however, are a 304 stainless, so they're going to stay looking good for a really long time. The 409 stainless that all of this tubing is made out of will eventually get a little bit of surface rust on it, especially if you live up in a salty area in the winter like we do. This isn't going to rust through, but you can expect to see a little bit of surface rust on that 304. Anytime you let the Jeep breathe in or out more easily, you should theoretically see a little bit of additional power or at least a little bit better throttle response. Now, what you're swapping out here is just the Axle-Back, so you still have the cats, the resonator if you have a newer Jeep, all the way back through the piping that is still going to be restrictive. So I wouldn't expect a ton of performance out of this Axle-Back. What you can expect is what we talked about before of having some additional volume and a lower exhaust note. Now, one thing that is a little bit interesting about this system as opposed to a lot of the other ones on the market is this actually comes in a few different pieces. These elbows here, the inlet pipe, both tips, and the muffler are all separate pieces that are designed to be clamped together during installation. Some of the other Axle-Backs we have on the site will have everything welded together except for the tips, so it's just a little bit of a different design. I don't know that this is necessarily better or worse. As long as you get those clamps nice and tight, you're not going to have any leaks, so it shouldn't be a problem. I would give installing any one of these Axle-Backs on a JK a very simple 1 out of 3 wrenches. The most difficult thing you're going to have to deal with when swapping out the factory exhaust on your Jeep is rust. There is one clamp with one nut that you'll have to break loose, and exhausts can get very rusty, so definitely recommend spraying that as well as the factory rubber hangers with a good penetrating lubricant well before you get started with this installation. Then it's just a matter of using a wrench to break loose that one nut that's holding the clamp on your factory Axle-Back and use a pry bar to pop loose those factory rubber hangers. Once the factory exhaust is out of the way, you can go ahead and start installing this one. Now, because this installs in a couple of different pieces, I would fit the inlet pipe on the factory hanger and this outlet pipe on that factory hanger. Then you can go ahead and hang a muffler in between the two. And finally, the second outlet pipe. As you're assembling things, you'll want to make sure that you put all the clamps in place and don't tighten anything fully down until you have the tips in place and you make sure they're positioned exactly where you want them and even. After that, you can tighten everything down and you're done. You won't need any specialty tools for this job, just a socket set and that penetrating oil, and the whole installation shouldn't take you more than an hour. Now, because this system is made out of a higher quality 304 stainless, you would expect it to be a little bit more expensive than some of the other Axle-Backs on the market, and that is the case. This is going to be one of the more expensive Axle-Backs that you can get for your JK. However, if you're looking for something that's going to hold up really well over time, nothing beats a high quality stainless exhaust system. So if you're looking for a lower exhaust note and a little bit more exhaust volume out of your Jeep, as well as a unique look from the back by having the dual outlets versus the factory system, I think this is a really nice option. And if you have the budget for a system made out of the high quality materials that this one is, you're going to get something that's going to last a really long time. So that's my review of the MBRP Axle-Back dual rear exit exhaust fitting all 2007 and up JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.